Today I want to cover two stories. One is about a mass UFO sighting that happened in Italy in 1954, and the other is about an alleged alien abduction. One day a professional soccer or football player, depending on where you live, claimed that he was late to practice because he was abducted by aliens. In a recent interview, a Brazilian podcaster was talking with a Chilean soccer player, Gustavo, and Gustavo told him that one of his teammates, Guillermo, once said that he was late to practice because he was abducted by aliens. Gustavo went on to say that Guillermo told him and the other teammates that the aliens, they take your soul and they analyze it. And Gustavo said that he had no reason not to believe him, as he was a serious person, and that this was the only time he was ever late to practice. Now, since Guillermo never came forward himself, we don't know what really happened, and I would love to hear all the details, such as how long was he abducted for, what did the aliens look like, and so on. And I do hope more of the story is revealed in the future. But Gustavo did say that Guillermo wanted him to tell his story, and I do find it interesting that he said that the aliens, they analyze your soul. And Guillermo isn't the only South American soccer star who claims that he was abducted by aliens. Maradona also claimed that he was abducted for 3 days. Now, since we're on the topic of aliens in soccer, there is an amazing case that happened in Italy in 1954 during a soccer game, and I have been wanting to cover this for a while now. One day, thousands of fans packed in a stadium saw something strange flying in the skies above. Just after halftime, the crowd, they went silent. They were no longer watching the game. They were looking up at the sky, pointing their fingers. Even the players, they stopped playing. One of the soccer players during an interview stated that when he looked up, he saw an object that looked like an egg that was moving very slowly. He even recalled that there was some silver glitter-like substance falling down from the sky. Another eyewitness stated, "We all saw an incredible sight. The objects were moving very fast, then they just stopped. It lasted a couple of minutes. The UFOs, they look like Cuban cigars to me. I think they were extraterrestrial. There's no other explanation. We had never seen anything like this before. We were all absolutely shocked." Now, because so many people, including the soccer players, were looking up at the sky, the soccer game was paused. Nobody was even playing, making this an amazing UFO sighting. So many people saw these UFOs. One journalist said that his headquarters was getting bombarded with phone calls about these UFOs, so he went to the roof to see if he could see them, and he did. And he described them as shiny orbs that were moving fast. Now, what makes this case really stand out is not just the thousands of eyewitnesses, but the glitter-like substance that was falling from the sky. After the journalist saw these UFOs, he wanted to get closer, and while he was running towards them, he saw a bunch of white fluff on the ground, so he got a few samples, and later he went to the Institute of Chemical Analysis at the local university. And when he got there, he was shocked. There were dozens of other people there with their own samples trying to figure out the exact same thing. But sadly, the test results didn't provide anything out of the ordinary, and this white substance had come to be known as angel hair, and it did disintegrate pretty fast once it hit the ground. Now, some skeptics believe that this was nothing more than a meteor breaking up in the atmosphere, which is highly unlikely. Another theory is that this was caused by young spiders spinning webs. If enough spiders get picked up by the winds, it can look like a flying solid object, or so they say. But none of the eyewitnesses were buying any of these theories. One man stated, "Of course I know about the migrating spiders theory. It's pure nonsense. It's an old story and also a stupid story. And the test results from the white substance does disprove the spider theory. So what happened on that day is still very much a mystery. And this is one of the biggest mass UFO sightings in Europe, and many were happy to have seen it." One eyewitness stated, "I just felt so lucky to have been there on that day. I was spellbound, and I was also so happy. I'm convinced that what I saw was unlike anything on Earth." Until next time, this is Paranormal Junkie. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and stay tuned.